My life has imploded. Husband, 29 male, slept with my mom,
Oh, jeez.
55 female, right before we got married 2 years ago.
Oh. What is the am I the asshole angle on this?
This one is just from relationship advice. So just like a person writing in.
Okay.
He confessed it to me yesterday out of guilt. The details are that he was extremely drunk on his bachelor party night, which I knew had happened. He doesn't drink often and overdid it. Said the next morning he didn't remember anything after a certain point. I thought nothing of it. Looking back, I can see how he was acting pretty off, which I assumed at the time was wedding jitters. Now he's told me he did remember coming home that night, which was when my mom, staying with us that week for the wedding, came on to him. He went along with it to the point of ending up having sex in her bed. In fact, he passed out in her bed and was there the whole night. My bachelorette party was the same night. I came home around 3 a.m. to see he wasn't in our bed. I texted him, but assumed he had crashed with a friend, as he'd said he might do that if things got crazy. But he was actually with my mother, right in the room next fucking door. The next morning, he quietly slipped out while I was still asleep, then opened the door pretending he'd just come home after sleeping off the drunkenness at his friend's. He got into bed with me and told me that lie. As if that wasn't enough, he also initiated sex soon after. He'd been fucking my mother mere hours before. We got married the very next day. Fuck everything. I literally cannot believe this. My mother has a history of trying to flirt with guys I've dated and being inappropriate. Not this bad, but still. My husband knew this. We laughed about it. He assured me he would never, in a million years, think she was attractive. What the fuck? I called her last night, just said, quote, husband told me everything. She spent several minutes pretending not to know what I was talking about, then denying everything and saying he was making it up. Then claiming she'd woken up next to my husband, forcing himself on her. The sheer audacity of the bullshit she is capable of is beyond any disgust I can properly convey. I eventually just ended the call. I could not stop crying. She refused to even admit the truth, let alone take any responsibility or apologize. I'm not even worth basic honesty in my own mother's eyes. I'm not even worth a half-assed I'm sorry to her. The person who's supposed to love you no matter what. And does she also think I'm stupid? Why keep lying to someone who knows you're lying unless you actually think they'd fall for your shit? Today I can't cry at all. Everything feels unreal. I'm completely lost and almost feel like I dreamed this or something. I've lost the two most important people in my life because they decided that I wasn't as important to them as having a quick fuck. Well, I hope it was the best 10 minutes of their lives. And sure, maybe my husband didn't come home that night with the planned intention of sleeping with her. He probably didn't, and it was just horrible judgment from overdrinking. That doesn't change the fact he and my mom had sex. No one should be able to say that about their spouse. How is that normal? I cannot imagine remaining in a marriage where my spouse has fucked my mom, literally 2 nights before our wedding. There's simply no coming back from that, right? No, I will never, quote, get over or forgive it. I feel absolutely revolted that for the last 2 years they've been at family visits together, acting more or less normal, with me right there, like a stupid fucking clueless fool. There's probably much more I'm forgetting, but maybe it doesn't even matter. I'm just done. My life is gone and I have no idea where I will be next week, let alone next year. We were going to be together for the rest of our lives. Now it's gone, just like I have nothing. What can I do now? How do I possibly explain to the rest of my family why we're divorcing? I am so humiliated.
Okay, so what the ultimate question is, how does she explain that to her family?
Tell him.
I would just tell him.
Point blank.
So this is like a thing in the gay community is like chosen family, but I think a lot of straight people can also have chosen families.
Definitely.
If the people around you who you're related to have fucked you over in more ways than one, cut them off. I know it's easier said than done, but spend the rest of your life looking for the people who genuinely love you and respect you and tell you the truth.
Yes.
Because he slept with you every night for a couple of years and keeping that secret in, and your mom has done this before, which means that she obviously has no regard for your relationships or who you are, and that's probably not going to change because she's probably already like solidified in her ways. I think you need to tell your family, hey, my husband and my mother are absolute pigs, and I'm going to spend the next couple years of my life looking for the people who genuinely love me.
Yeah, pigs is an understatement.
They are pigs. They're swine.
The fact that he woke up, like, I get drunken mistake. Terrible.
No, I am a drunk, and I understand that people, when they are drunkest, they make horrible mistakes, but that is something that's almost unforgivable.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that is totally unforgivable. That's disgusting.
It's so bad. Like, the fact that when you black out, like, I've been blackout drunk and had sex with people that I definitely did not want to, and, like, I regret. Like, oh my God, take that back, for sure. But the fact he woke up in the morning, realized where he was, and committed to it, and was like, I'm gonna pretend, I'm gonna walk in the door.
Yeah.
But then he went and tried to initiate sex with her.
Yeah, you have her mother's juices on your dick. You have 2 generations of wet on you. Take a shower, you gross man.
That was my question. I was like, did he shower in between?
Okay, so, like, even if you cheat on someone, I think that, like, you should at least just, like, we should get tested for something.
Absolutely.
You know, like, that's what you owe someone at the least bit of, like, I'm sorry, I made that really gross, but, like, you don't know if she has anything. You didn't bathe. You didn't say that you bathed. That's her mother. And then I'm actually disgusted that her mother would turn around and say that he forced himself on her. You turn this into a rape allegation. That is, like, your mother is beyond repair.
Oh, she's done.
I think you need to lean on your friends and cut your family off. And it's easy to, the last thing you can say to your family is, hey, Mama had sex with my husband. I'm sorry, I'm not going to talk to you guys anymore unless you love me. And if you don't love me, I don't care, because everyone has already proven that they're all shitheads. Yeah, that's disgusting. I feel bad for her.
I know. I just skipped ahead. It gets worse.
Jesus. Okay.
But happy ending.
Okay.
Happy ending.
She gets remarried.
She gets divorced.
Thank God. Get divorced. This is why divorce is a good thing.
This
let's go.
is the perfect example of why I love divorce.
Yeah, I love divorce.
My actual update will be brief, but I want to go thoroughly address what you guys said on my first post. I read every single comment. I guess skip to the bottom if you want to know the update. Do you want me to skip?
Yeah.
Okay. Most of you were pointing out that it sounded like my husband was too drunk to consent, meaning she raped him. When I spoke to him again after reading all of that, I asked him carefully if he felt that she took advantage of his drunkenness. There was a long pause. He sighed and gave me this look that was just full of guilt and sadness, and then basically said no, that it would be, quote, easy to go with the out I was giving him, but that I deserved the truth. He then proceeded to tell me that before that night, they had been sexting for several months.
Oh my God.
He had not told me this the first time he confessed. He went on to tell me more, explaining that he left this out because, quote, the biggest issue was the actual cheating, and he didn't want to hurt me by giving up all the lead-up details. He only gave them this time out of some remaining sense of honor, I guess. He said he'd been even more of a coward if he misled me to think it was rape. So I guess he's not as much of a liar as he could be. ... Don't know how to feel about that. Anyways, they had been sexting, including exchanging nudes, for a few months before the wedding. Now, I had known they texted sometimes. They had always had a friendly relationship. I hadn't ever suspected anything weird. Like I said in the first post, he'd been adamant that he'd never think of her sexually. I trusted him. He can't explain why he started sexting beyond he got caught up in the thrill of doing something forbidden. There were implications made about wanting to do things in real life as a, quote, one-night thing should the opportunity ever arise. Disgusting. So fast forward to our bachelor/et parties night. The texting between him and her was going on while he was out that night. So what I said in my first post about how he probably didn't come home intending to sleep with her, yep, that was wrong. He did. In fact, him telling me he was going to stay overnight with his friends if he got too drunk was all a part of the setup. He knew I'd be out very late at a show. He had the presence of mind to arrange a way to leave his party earlier in the night, go home, fuck my mother, and already have me in a plausible explanation for appearing not to be home when I got back at 3 a.m. so that he could spend that, quote, one night with her. It was just that important to him to have the full experience of falling asleep after sex and waking up next to each other. He reiterated that he had been aware the whole time of what he was doing. He was not as drunk as he'd made it seem the next morning when he claimed to not remember anything that had happened. I think that tripped people up on my first post into thinking he was incapacitated. I thought I'd been clear that he'd admitted during his first confession that it was an act he put on for me at the time to cover up his cheating, which he then explained he actually had remembered everything the next morning. So, just to be clear again, while he did get drunk, at no point did he black out or become totally wasted to the point he was incapable of controlling his decisions and body.
How, like, flippantly do these people think of sexual assault that both parties would have accused each other of it? That's so disgusting. Also, here's the thing, ladies. If a man ever tells you about how ugly and disgusting a girl is and he would never fuck her, he wants to fuck her.
They're lying.
They are absolutely lying. You would never single out a woman unless you are trying to distract someone from thoughts that are there.
Yes.
My girl best friend, fucking gross, would never hook up with her, but she's cute, but like I love her, but like never fuck her.
I look at her like a sister.
No one shits on women like that than someone who is about to fuck that woman, you know, or wants to fuck that woman. That's just a huge thing. You would never shit on a woman unless the guys would never shit on a woman unless they want to fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She goes on to say, I'm proceeding with divorce and have gotten in touch with an attorney. I've kicked him out of the house. I think he's gone to his parents for the time being. Not looking forward to a legal battle whatsoever, but there's no possible way to remain married after this shit.
No.
To this day, he doesn't know why he did it. I have my own suspicions based on things he said in the past about wishing he'd had more sexual partners before me because he felt like he had missed out on his youth. Maybe that was my clue I wasn't enough for him. Should have listened, but let him and some friends talk me into believing I must be or he wouldn't be with me and that all guys have regrets like that and sacrifice them for the right woman. Clearly, that wasn't me. He also struggles with overuse of porn sometimes. Stepmom is his favorite genre. It never struck me as anything other than a dumb porn thing. Whatever. I won't be dating for a long, long time because obviously I'm colorblind to red flags.
That is so stupid. You missed out on your youth, so you fuck someone who I could be in 30 years. You missed out on your youth, so you fuck someone who looks like me in 30 years. Had you just waited 30 years, you could have fucked that same woman. You know? Like, that's like literally like, if you're saying that you, stepmom, oh my God, dude, you're gross. Oh my God. You're not missing out on your youth. If you're missing out on your youth, okay, this is going to sound weird. I'd understand if he said that and now he's like pursuing 21-year-olds.
Yeah.
But like, you're pursuing people who are exponentially older than you. Like, you could have just waited for that.
I'm like blown away. Like 50, she's 55. You don't even know like if she's gone through menopause. Like most likely, maybe. But what if she would have gotten pregnant?
I think he has a fetish.
Yeah, definitely. I feel bad too with her being like, obviously I'm colorblind to red flags. Like, no, sweetie, I think you just got bamboozled.
Yeah, you did get bamboozled. The fact that, okay, so I think you need to have more faith in yourself because a lot of people experience this multiple times, actually. And so you realized the first time it's time to get out, you know? So I think that you didn't realize like there was something else going on. But the first time that everything came to light, you immediately ditched. You're not blind to red flags.
No.
You just see the positive in people. So don't shit on yourself like that.
Well, also, like, who knows how long they dated? Did she say? And I just am having short-term memory. No, don't say. We got married 2 years ago, but doesn't say how long they dated. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, no, like if they were together 7 years and he gave you no reason to believe he was going to fuck your mom, like that wouldn't even be something I would worry about.
That I wouldn't factor that in. If my best friend is like way too flirty and all over, that's something you're like, oh, very aware of.
Yeah.
But your mom, you never suspected.
No, especially if you already know like your mom is like, she fucks with you on a regular basis and flirts with people you're dating and is overly touchy and whatever. Like, okay, you already know that's your mom.
You need a smackdown brawl with your mother. You absolutely. I ditched this man, but then your mom, I would punch her in the face. Like, I would go to your house and like, I'm sorry, I would beat the fuck out of your mom because like she's done this before. She's literally done this. This is a pattern of hers. Mm-hmm. You need to knock some sense into that woman because it's clear that she's not going to go to therapy at her. Oh my God. I would punch the shit out of my mom.
I would be slashing tires.
Yeah.
I might burn her house down. Like, no, but I don't know if there's a way to recover.
Yeah,
Ever.
there's nothing wrong with being an older woman and pursuing younger men.
No.
However, if you pursue the men exclusively that your daughter dates, you're trying to take over your daughter's life, and you need some sense knocked into you. Sorry, now I'm gonna see the reviews and they're gonna be like, Sarah's so violent.
No, I really appreciate that because I'm just like at a loss for words here with this one. And like I think the top comment on it like kind of puts it in a perspective. So it's not from the actual post, it's from Reddit updates. So it's like from the post being compiled by someone. And so the top comment, I think this is one of the most messed up stories I've ever read on this site. And that's saying something.
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel. I'm like, I've read some shit on this podcast already, but this, I only read the title.
How do you recover?
You can't.
I would definitely seek out a chosen family because you deserve to be loved and you deserve to be like respected and not lied to.
Yes.
And you deserve to sleep next to someone who loves you, you know? And you deserve to go home to Thanksgiving and Christmas or Hanukkah to a family that respects you. And I think that you really need to invest in finding a chosen family.
I know. I wish I had more details about, like, is her mom married? Does she have siblings? Like, is the family? Because she definitely needs to cut her mom off.
Yeah.
But, like, is everyone else in the family going to be open to doing that as well based on what she did?
Yeah, if you feel humiliated, you have an amazing opportunity to humiliate your mom because that is utterly embarrassing. Unless they greenlight that, which means you need to cut and run. You need to. And then you need to befriend someone gay like me, and we all will start making a chosen family.
I know. Well, like, that's me. Like, my family is very much that. Like, my dad that you've met and that I consider like my dad isn't even my dad.
Yeah.
Like, my mom picked him to be my godfather, and I just like started calling him dad.
Yeah.
And then I have aunts, uncles, not related to me at all, but they're my aunts and uncles. Like, so we're very much like that. Like, pick your family because why not? Like, have quality people in your life that love you for you versus people that are just blood obligated and don't give a shit.
Yeah. What's that thing? Like, blood is thicker than water, but viscosity is not what family is about. You just need to find a fucking family.
I'm like looking at her post. This just happened 22 days ago.
Oh my God.
So this is all super, super fresh.
Yeah.
I'll post the links to like all of her posts, but she is so responsive in the comments. I think she's just like really yearning for support and to
she wants to talk to someone.
Yeah, she's just like trying to rationalize this, which unfortunately, like, you can't rationalize crazy people's decisions.
No, you shouldn't even be trying to do that. You should just feel validated in yourself. Keep replying to people just so people can tell you that you're not crazy, because it sounds like you're surrounded by people who think that you're crazy, and you're obviously not crazy. So keep commenting, keep responding, and just get that like that sense of self and just break away from everyone.
Yeah, I know. And like, oh my God, so many comments. Like, this is the page with all the comments.
Yeah.
And like, if we tried to read them, we'd literally be here all day.
Yeah.
Like, there's there's a lot. But it seems like she is really getting the support she needs from everyone on Reddit. So yay to that. There's like one comment that I see from her. She has no place in my life ever again. And so that's great. I'm glad she's getting out.
I've like done a lot of like mental work in my time, but I've never had to deal with like a parent who has sex with a significant other, and I can't get myself into that mentality. So I'd love to hear like what the actual like analysis for that is. I
know there's definitely some, I don't know if it's insecurity and feeling, that need for assurance from a younger person, or like, I think you kind of were on point too with like saying she needs to vicariously live through her daughter.
Yeah.
And so maybe she looks at her daughter as an extension of herself. And so if she's feeling shortcoming in her own insecurities and I'm not as hot anymore, I'm not this, I'm not that, but hey, I can still get what my daughter has.
Yeah.
Like,
that is me.
That is me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know we have a lot of like licensed marriage and family therapists that listen. I would love to hear everyone's like psychology takes on this one, and like let's try to rationalize this the best we can because that's fucking nuts.
I feel so bad for her.
I know.
I wanna punch her mom in the face.
And then give her a hug.
And then give her a hug.
Yeah, someone goes, do they create constant validation by sex and male attention? And she replies, in my case, it was this. She had that pattern my entire life. It extended to every guy I've dated, even when I was a teenager.
She's a pedophile too? Oh my God.
Oh,
Ew.
not good. Oh, someone literally comments, if you haven't already, please get fully tested for STDs, especially as you said your mom had a revolving door of men. And OP responds, F my life. I never even considered that.
Oh my God.
It looks like she responded though. Like she went back and responded to the comment again, and I've been tested at the doctor's, and everything was negative. So I guess I got lucky.
Okay.
So yay.
A win. We did it, guys.
Oh my God, I know. Someone comments, the things that men do to address the drive to procreate. And they respond, joke's on him, I guess, going to a post-menopausal woman for that drive.
I think he's just it's not even the drive to procreate. It's just
It's a kink or an insecurity for him maybe too.
yeah, you think that the world is your oyster and you're a blessing upon this earth. No, dude. Men are on thin ice. Very, very thin ice.
Especially if they fuck your mom. Yeah, and I was not kink shaming there, so I don't even want to fucking hear it from people. Like if you have a thing for older women, like you enjoy that and you go for that and you tickle your fancy, but that woman better not be your fucking wife's mom.
Yeah, that's not even kink shaming. You're like, it's totally valid to be attracted to people who are older than you.
Absolutely.
It's not valid to want to fuck the person you're married to's mother. That's not valid. I'm sorry.
No.
Actually, I'm not sorry.
No apologies necessary. No.